Cole. This is Alan Cockrell with ABC Camps, the current hitting coordinator for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm going to take a look at your video today, bud, and talk about a few things that I think are pretty important for all hitters. I like your setup position. You're nice and balanced. Really the big thing that we look for in balance is we want to have bend in both knees, and we want to have our knee inside our feet. The thing I would suggest, Cole, as you can see, you're in a good position here. But one thing that I would suggest is that we get ourselves a little bit more squared up. You can see that your feet are basically facing the catcher, and we'd like to have those feet a little more squared up towards home plate if we could, and try to just get ourselves in a little bit better position athletically, that when we get loaded up and ready to see the ball, we have a path to cover all of the strike zone. Okay, so that would be really the first thing that I'd like for you to think about. And we'll take it into the load position here. And once we get loaded, what we take a look at is basically we want to have our stride foot no more open than 45 degrees. And we're looking at right here, we're looking at 57 degrees with you. And I'll just run it back a couple of, but when the stride foot lands, we'd like to keep that stride foot more at a 45-degree angle. Okay, more we start to put up with that stride foot, the more the front hip will be in this direction. Okay, we want to have our hips square, and we've got a little bit of an open hip right here with you. Other than that, I see some good things. I see you're good position with ease, with good bend. You're working inside of your feet. So all of that looks good. If we can just get you a little bit more squared up to begin with, you may not open up that front foot, which opens up the front hip at the loaded position. So that may be something that we want to take a look at. Getting you a little bit, especially this foot right, pushing more in this direction, so it's squared up to home plate. Okay, you're kind of getting yourself blocked out a little bit clipped off. Okay, we're going to run it forward. Now the next thing we're going to start to see is good drive with your lower half. This back knee is going to generate power and energy. You're going to drive in this front leg. Okay, we'll see that start to take place. That's good. And as it does, we get our hands involved in the swing. So as that knee drives, the elbow's going to drop down into this slot next to the rib cage. Okay, so we'll see the knee drive. We'll see the elbow drop. And then when we get to this position, we should see hands, elbow, and back hip all in alignment. Okay, we'll take it back, and we've got a pretty good line right here with your hands, your elbow, and your back hip. Your lower half is a source of power, so we've got to get that going and driving into the front side. Obviously, we hold the bat with our hands, so we need to get our hands involved, and they need to get active so they can get out in front of our body to make contact. So the elbow and the back knee work together, and you've done a good job of that. We've gotten to this connected point where we see hands, elbow, back, hip. Now the hands will start to work in front of the body. Okay, and we'll take this thing forward. The hands work in front of the body, and basically, Cole, what it looks like to me here is you've just let this ball get a little bit deep. Maybe your load was a little bit late. But the contact for this particular pitch should be out here somewhere, and we've let this ball get too deep into our body. Okay, what we should see is head and eyes should be looking right down the barrel at this particular point right here for the point of contact. So I think I would suggest maybe loading a little bit earlier and getting that foot down so that we can get our lower half and our hands working together to get that contact point more out in front of the body. Okay, we'll run forward, and I think because contact is deep, we're going to end up cutting off our swing. As you can see, your hands are starting, at this point, your hands are starting to pull across your body, and we want the hands extending. We want the barrel of the bat to be fully extended just past contact. So you can see here you're kind of pulling your hands across your body just a little bit, which takes away from our extension, which leads to driving the ball as hard as we possibly can. But you do a really good job of staying underbalanced for a young hitter. So I like what I see there. I think if we'll just run this through a few more times, and we'll just see, you get your foot down and then you go again. So I think the idea now is once the foot lands, ready, just let the ball get into the hitting area instead of going again, and I think that's why that ball beats you deep right here. So we'll just run it forward. You see, you got it down. We're down, and now we just need to let the ball come to us and take our hands in our lower half and get a good weight transfer and let our hands get out in front of our body to contact. But you can see here, you're down at this point, and now we're going to go again. So we get a little bit, maybe a little bit too wide, and basically what you've done, Cole, is even though you've gotten your foot down and you're going again, it causes you to be a little bit late. So I think either just go with a normal stride and set the foot down and then start your swing, or get your foot down and then hold it in place and then start your swing with your back knee, and your back elbow will connect into that rib cage area so the hands can get out front, and we can get to a point of contact out here somewhere out in front of our front foot, as opposed to back here, deep, very deep in the zone, which is going to inhibit extension and driving the ball to all fields. So that would be my suggestion, bud. First things first, though, let's try to get ourselves into a more squared up position with our feet at home plate, and then let's get our foot down and then just hold that position. That double go, set it down and then go again, causes us to be a little bit late and the ball gets a little too deep. So my suggestion is practice this on a tee, set it right in the middle, and once you get your foot down at this point, okay, right there, you're good. Now set it deep, and let's set that deep off the front foot, and let's just try to make contact somewhere out here in front of our body, just a little bit, okay? I think these are some things that will help you. Again, mechanically, you're pretty sound. We could just get you a little bit more squared up and a little bit more on time, and I think you're going to be a good hitter for many years to come. So thanks for coming to our camp, bud, and good luck.